Hello viewers and welcome to Hippie in a Race Car. Today I decided to do something a little daring, a little crazy, but frankly, potentially, a whole lot more fun. Maybe. You know, could be, couldn't be, maybe, we're not quite sure because it depends on the other drivers to a large extent. Welcome. Thank you. Don't crash into anyone. Be a nice person. I'm aware of. Yeah, that's fine. Sport mode, which you can do a bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of other things. And we'll do the... Please don't show me that again. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're going to be against people that are like you, and if you don't suck, you might get a better rating, and if you do suck, you'll get a worse rating, and if you really suck, then somebody's probably going to report you. So don't suck. Yeah. So far, of course, I start off as... Don't do that, don't do that. Okay, good, good, thank you. For daily races, as all my YouTube heroes do, have to use that thing? Alright. No, no, change car. Oh, what? Rent, sorry, yes. Rent this in yellow. Yellow Maserati. So here is a qualifying lap for this particular race. I had about 8 or 10 laps done for the previous race, which unfortunately didn't record, and I also forgot to sign up for the race. And this is all brand new to me. I don't know what I'm doing here. And so the race started, and I was still busy trying to get a decent lap time in. I've determined, as you can see by this particular run, that when you paint the car yellow, it doesn't slow down as fast. And so I was missing apexes all over the place. Me and the apexes were having a bit of a fight, so I was just keeping my distance. Didn't want to touch them, didn't want to go near them. Case in point, oops, little couple of wheels on the beach. Well, not the greatest lap. Previously, as you can see, I ended up with a 137, which put me, I think, 584th or something in the world. My first lap was 5,435th, so I guess I improved a little bit, and I was pretty happy with that, thinking, well, maybe I'd do okay. You know, I mean, this is the Red Bull Ring, let's face it. Everybody knows the Red Bull Ring. It's only got 10 corners, and really only 9 of them kind of count, except with this car. Turn 2, you do have to get right to set yourself up for turn 3, because if you're braking and turning at the same time, don't. That was the one apex I hit, because I was going really, really slowly. So here I am, finishing up this not-so-great lap. Certainly not representative, as you can tell from how I responded. Puke. So it turns out they used the previous attempt's best lap, which I wasn't expecting, and which turned out to be a little bit better than I thought it would be, as you can tell from my reaction. What the f***? And then I had to tell the whole house. Dudes, I'm on pole position! Kind of obvious, I was not expecting that. What the hell? Not bad for my second online race in the game. I think it's safe to say that starting on pole position made me a little bit nervous. Unfortunately, despite getting pole position, this is where the race started to unravel. As I mentioned, painting a car Maserati yellow, they don't brake as well. No, actually, as it turns out, I'm just not used to the fact that in qualifying you have 1 lap of fuel on board, and in the race you have a whole bunch of laps. This was a fun time. He decided he was going to little zig to the right, and I missed him, and then I ended up out of control and on the beach. And then he went zooming by me. Missed me. One of the things with this car is you really have to be careful You can't overdrive it. You have to slow down properly, slow in, fast out. Try not to miss the apexes. It sounds so easy, doesn't it? But it's one of those cars on this particular track. When you take it easy going into the corners, you can come out nice and quick. You can actually do not too bad. The key is slowing down early enough, but not too early. Right, that's all racing. Slow down at exactly the right time. In this particular case, it's better to slow down a bit early because otherwise, you go a little wide. You end up with some problems getting past, go from first to fourth. Turn 1, absolutely key because there's such a long straight after it. You got to hit that apex, which of course I didn't. Almost did. That's, this is turn 2. As I mentioned, it doesn't really count in most races, but with this car, you have to set yourself up, be able to brake at the right time, brake in an absolute straight line, and then try not to hit that giant curb. Don't spin the car. Don't go wide. Accelerate well. You can see I'm not doing nearly as well in the race as I did in qualifying. Say la vie, I'm not overly concerned about it. I was just having some fun at this point. More importantly to me at this point in my racing career, quote unquote, is don't wreck anybody else's race if I can avoid it. Don't wreck my own. But I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that one that they go, oh God, there's Draken. Ugh, maybe I shouldn't take part in this race. I want to be the one that they go, oh yeah, he's cool. He's not the greatest, but he's not going to run into you. He's not going to dive bomb you. Little foreshadowing. Speaking of dive bombing, wait for it. We are coming up to turn 9. This one's fun because if you hit it right, which that was not bad, but slow, you can actually get a lot of speed through there. And then turn 10, because of that little dip, if you hit that just right, you can come flying out of here. As you can see, I managed to catch up. Going for the pass, and well, I got in front of him, but the old switcheroo kind of came back and bit me in the butt, and off he went again. So, again, slowing down at exactly the right time. Go again. In turn 3, the slow corner on the track, and I kind of got it right there-ish, not too bad. My consistency is there on this track, because I know this track really, really well. And after a whole bunch of qualifying laps, I was starting to learn the braking points, like the third checker on the curb is where you hit the brakes. He went a little wide. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. A little bit of a bump. Let him go by. But then he was slow, so I was like, okay, well, let's duke it out. And I got ahead of him and then said, okay, well, I'll happily take this turn. I gave him room. And here we are, going into 7. He goes in a little bit squirrely, and I had a better angle. So at this point, I got my foot to the floor, and I scoot by him, and ended up in second place. And coming through turn 9, I missed the apex, and ended up going wide, a little too wide, a couple of pixels, and got myself a penalty. Not the end of the world. Again, I'm just trying to have a little fun, trying to get used to the racing, trying not to wreck anybody's races, Coming into turn 1, really, really important to get this one right and not bonk, hit that sausage curb. Because this is an uphill, long straight. If you hit that curb, you can't get on the gas early enough. You will lose a chunk of time before you get into turn 2 and 3. Oh, remember that dive bomb I was alluding to earlier? Yeah, speed kills Eli. I don't think he knew that ghosting was on strong. Those are the kind of people that used to keep me out of these kinds of races because there's nothing quite as annoying as somebody intentionally trying to destroy your race. C'est la vie. And off I went. Him way behind me at this point. Unfortunately, the leader way in front of me, so there's no chance of catching him. And I was just thinking, you know what? I'm just going to try to keep it consistent, see if I can maintain where I am. Started on pole. Down in second. My second race. If I can hold on to this, I will be a very happy camper. Still got a lap in a bit. Coming into turn 9, brake, slow the car down, turn it in a little bit earlier than you'd expect because it doesn't turn very well. Brake again, down to second. Try not to hit that giant sausage curb. If you hit it exactly right, if you take the corner exactly right, the curb actually goes between the tires and you miss it and you sail through. Unfortunately, in my case, there were quite a few times when I nailed it with one set of tires, nearly launched the car into orbit, and finally it comes back down and you can get your foot back on the gas. Final run up to turns 2 and 3. I wasn't worried about being passed. The guy in front was obviously faster than me, way more consistent, and he's way ahead of me, so I'm not even considering trying to catch up with him or pass him. I'm sitting in second place in my second race. I'm okay with that. More focusing on just keeping it on the track, keeping myself in control, hitting the breaking points, hitting the apexes, working on consistency, trying for a clean race, but there was a bump earlier, plus I got myself a penalty. I don't know how that's going to affect my safety rating. I'm not sure how much any particular incident causes the rating to go up and down. One of those things that I'll learn as I go along, I'm sure. I know my driver rating's not necessarily going to be that great because I started first and ended up not first. But I think if I continued to put in a whole lot of laps on this, and I could get my lap time down to a consistent low 137, mid 137, I think I would have a pretty good chance at actually pulling off a win. Get on the track. Last time round, turn 10. And bring it home for second place. I'll take a second place. Started pole, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Not bad, man. Started pole, finished second. I'm okay with that. Considering that was my second online race ever. In this game, I mean. I've had online races in different games. Well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and have a great day. Peace.